All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Tuesday night principled Chiro broadcast from DE and Band of Brothers. I'm Dr. Brian Moriarty, your esteemed MC for tonight's exciting call with Dr. Eddie Martinez. And I'm joined by my co-host, Patrick.
Hi.
Why are you biting your nails? All of America is tuning in, okay? Focus. And I'm also joined by Emma.
Hi.
These guys were on the last broadcast, and I got a lot of good feedback about them. So I thought I'd bring them back for another round here as we talk about DE. Emma, put your tongue in your mouth. Do you guys like DE?
Yes.
Yeah, DE's awesome, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's look at the upcoming dates we have for DE coming up here, guys. All of the dates for 2023 have now been posted, and there they are. We've got January 12th through the 15th in Clearwater Beach. Beautiful hotel right on the beach. We've got April 13th through 16th in Sarasota at the Hyatt. We love that place as well. And then we're back in Atlanta the end of July, 27th to the 30th. And there's another new date on there, October 19th to the 22nd in Atlanta. Those are your dates for 2023 DEs. This January one, you get the holidays right before it. You want to make sure to get in early on the January one to make sure that you're booked so you don't get caught up in Christmas and New Year's and then forget it. So, anyway, we excited? Are you guys coming to DE Clearwater with me? Yeah.
I didn't know.
You know? Okay, good. Oh, someone wrote Emma.
My name's Emma.
Yeah, look at someone wrote your name. Emma.
Where is it?
Down the bottom, it says Facebook user. I don't know why. So, anyway, Emma and Patrick need to go to bed. But I just wanted them to come on here and say hi.
No.
Yes, it's bedtime.
No bedtime.
Mwah. Bedtime. Mwah. All right. So, Emma, you can go off to bed. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
All right. And we're going to get down to business here with our DE call. All right. Here they go. Thank you, Laura. Love you. Anyway, guys, DE was an amazing weekend this past weekend here, guys. And for everyone who was there, I think it was a really special time. I think we connected in a little bit of a different way this time. There was some incredible talks all weekend. Friday, we were riding a high of emotions. And then Saturday, we got into some heavy stuff. And then in the afternoon, we got light again. And, it was an incredible DE. I really got a lot out of it. I know a lot of people did. We've had a lot of new people coming in. I've been talking to some people that have been getting some great results on Monday. There's this cool guy, Shredder, you guys got to meet. He's doing some incredible things. So hello, Shredder. Great job on Monday, and I hope you're kicking butt this week. So, but yeah, it was a great DE, guys, and I'm glad you guys were there. If you weren't there, you missed out, and there's a chance to make up for that. You come to January Clearwater DE and make up for that, and get inspired with the principle, get inspired by lasting purpose. And I know I'll be there. I'm bringing my whole family to this one and my staff. So make sure you get that one. Great one right on the beach. So we'll be talking more about that in the coming weeks. But and also I wanted to congratulate Dr. Paula Hedgelon on her DD Umber Award. That was a beautiful moment to see her win that. And I thought that it deserved a little extra recognition on the Tuesday night call. So congrats, Paula. Very well deserved. And we're real proud of you. Great job, guys, putting that one together. Couldn't have gone to a better person. Anyway, so for tonight, we've got Dr. Eddie Martinez, one of my best friends down here in Florida. Dr. Eddie was the president of the Florida Chiropractic Society for the last 4 years. A couple months ago, he termed out, and now he's our immediate past president, but he's still very much involved. He did an incredible job as president, and we're happy to have him as the immediate past president to still be involved because this guy really, really brings the fire and has been so instrumental in helping us in Florida. I always love working with the guy. We get along great, and we're just trying to keep Florida principled and keep battling the people who are battling us. But he has an amazing family. His wife, Araceli, is our executive director at the FCS, and we love her. Great kids that we know well. And this guy's the real deal, guys. He sadly could not be a DE this past weekend, which is rare. He had something with his daughter that he had to be at, which is totally understandable. Family comes first. But I thought it'd be a good idea to put him on here right after DE week because I know a lot of people are riding a nice high after that. Their offices are busy. You know, you're coming off of this, so I wanted to get a real good DE speaker for this week, and there's nobody better than this guy. So without further ado, from Coral Gables, a part of Miami, Florida, give it up for my friend and yours, Dr. Eddie Martinez. Love and appreciate you, Eddie. Thank you so much for doing this, brother.
All right, I'm in the show. Hey guys, it's an honor and a privilege to be asked to speak tonight. I missed this last DE, and I had a hard time for a little bit. You know, when I knew I couldn't be there, I haven't missed a DE in forever. And you know, one of the things I have, or one of my characteristics, I'm very loyal. DE gave me my purpose and my start and and showed me the path of where I am now about since 1993. I've missed a few here and there for important reasons, but you know, my daughter Sophia, she's going to school at USF, University of South Florida in Tampa, and she called me and asked us to be at her parents' weekend. You know, during her first 2 years at college and her last year in high school, because of COVID, she missed you know, graduation. She missed her prom. First 2 years in college was basically all online, so there was nothing in person, nothing going on. And this year, the opportunity came where she wanted us. So she was so excited and wanted us to really be there with her for parents' weekend. And all she had to do was ask, and you know, there was no question. I was definitely going to be there for her. I had a little bit of a hesitancy because you know, it was DE weekend, and I'm always looking forward to being at DE with my DE family, with you know, my brothers and sisters and the people that have influenced me and mentored me along the way. But you know, like I was listening to some of the DE talks the last few days, and I think Steve said, you know, God, me, family, and chiropractic. And you know, me being, you know, I have to take care of myself, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that later. Because how do you take care of yourself? How do you take care of other people if you don't take care of yourself first? And then family is so important, especially to us. And then chiropractic, a lot of times it's a one, you know, it's a parallel kind of thing, and not one above the other. But sometimes one does take precedence, and definitely God, me, and family for sure. So it's funny because I was with Steve and Brian Lieberman. Brian were already on my Araceli's birthday weekend after the Chiro Cup. We were up in Georgia hanging out, and I mentioned that I wasn't gonna. I was trying to make it happen. I was trying to be there. You know, get to DE Thursday night, be there Friday. If I was asked to speak, I was gonna, you know, asked to speak on Friday, and then so I can get back Saturday for the rest of the parents' weekend. And you know, Steve just looked at me and said, you know, just go. You need to be there. Go. It's gonna be fine. And I don't know if he was testing me or actually giving me some advice, but it was funny. And I said, and I'm okay with it. It was good, and I enjoyed myself, and I was 100% with my daughter and my family, and that's just the way it is. And one of those values that we learn is not only from you know, from my parents and stuff like that, but you know, also all those people that I've met throughout the years at DE, and you know, stuff that we learn to do and not to do throughout the years. So yeah, so I'm bummed that I missed it, and listening to some of the recordings, I haven't watched them all, but you know, I know it's not the same as being there, but you can tell that this DE was something special. I could hear, the passion, through the screen, in my earbuds, just it's coming through. One talk in particular that, again, I haven't heard them all, was Dan Two's. I think Dan Two, if again, I haven't heard them all, but from what I heard on his talk, he was amazing. And you can hear that passion and that urgency, and that. Thank you, Paula. Love life, baby. You can hear that urgency, just coming through the screen, and his passion, and his, just his heart coming through. But I just had my 51st birthday too this month, and I've never felt better in my life than I do right now. We were having dinner with some friends last month, and we were talking about birthdays and stuff like that, and a friend of mine said, I'll stop celebrating at 50 because from then it's all downhill. And I was like, I couldn't disagree with him more. Right now I feel more alive than I've ever felt, just through this, through DE, through the principles that we live by. And you get 49, 50, and it just keeps going up. You want to go on a high note. You want to go on a high vibration, and that's the way I want to go. So there's nothing but up for me. Next DE's in January. In the seasons in my life, sometimes we always hear people say, I need DE. I need this DE. It's time. Sometimes because we're in a lull in practice, or whatever, struggles or something going on. But lately it's been like sometimes after DE is when the little lull comes, because get slapped in the face, or hit in the chin, coming back to practice after a DE. But lately every DE, when I'm looking so forward to it, and then the practice and everything is just going right and booming and booming and booming. You get there and you want to just bring that energy to DE, and that's where I'm at right now. Steve talked in his talk about purpose and what's your purpose. And for me, aside from clearing subluxations and educating people on true health and full life expression, and what interferes with that, one of my purposes also, and we were talking about kids, is developing better human beings, especially starting with my kids. And I'm so proud of the job I have done. I'll pat myself on the back when I see things happen, and we might get into a little chiropractic soon, but for example, we have 4 kids, and they all grew up running around at the back of the room at DE. Fun fact: DD adjusted Harvey when he was 50. Did not know that, and look what happened after that, right? Alex, my oldest son, his math teacher told him that he would never do anything that had to do with math. He would never, succeed or excel in anything in math. And my big boy just landed a job with Tesla. And in college, every elective that he would take was a math class, which is crazy. But that just goes to show you can't go by what people tell you, or let people tell you what you're going to do or what you're going to be, what you can and can't do. And I've always told them they have to be the best of what they do. My dad always told me that whatever you do, even if it was picking up garbage or whatever, just be the best at what you do. My grandfather told me, he was a pharmacist actually, and one of the things he told me was, be honest, don't lie to people, be truthful, and be who you're going to be. So he knew pharmacia, pharmacy. He was old school. He would make his own stuff. But he told me, if you're going to be a chiropractor, be a chiropractor. And that always stayed with me the whole time. That's why I'm still adamant about chiropractic and keeping chiropractic and in the political arena and in the state and what have you. Is we have to preserve and protect this thing called chiropractic, this principle called chiropractic. So Alex is doing pretty good. Sophia, one of my kids that I really don't worry too much about her, because you can look at her. She has a lot of her mom in her, and she will be all right. She's going to do great things. She's studying business right now, but who knows what she's gonna accomplish. Gabriel, he's my third one. He's his own dude. He's following his own path. He's very much into theater. He's a senior in high school, and he's doing his own thing. If I force him to do something, when he was little, he would write me a letter. He would say, "Father, I know you want me to do this, and that, but I can make my own decisions, and I'm going to do this." So I stopped fighting with him on stuff that I wanted him to do, that I thought he wanted to do, and he's doing fantastic, and he's thriving in his path and his journey. And KK, my little one, she's 14. She's a freshman in high school. You can see just by looking in her eyes that she's just exhuming and finding herself and finding confidence in herself. I'm not sure what she's going to do, and she'll figure it out soon enough. But I'm really proud of what they've become and who they're becoming, and that all has to do with lessons I've learned throughout the years, and especially attributed to DE and the principles I learned at DE, and the mentors that I've had come before me. Paula, Dana Bechter, Mindy, Joe Accurso, so many people that to name, and my friends now. I can call anybody right now and ask for help, or just to get something off my chest, and they're there. This past week, one of the things that happened to me this past week, besides not going to DE, but I made it to Tampa. I had to drive. Traffic over there was horrendous. It takes about 4 hours to get there, and it took me about almost 5.5 hours to get there, because the traffic was just bumper to bumper. And I'm sure it had to do with all the traffic, and then going to the west coast of South Florida, and all the workers and stuff like that. But I had an old football injury in my back when I was 16, 17, playing in high school, where I was upended, and one of my teammates, his knee was up like this, and my back just felt like that, and it felt like I broke in half. For whatever reason, it happened to me this last week. It was the same exact pain that I had. It brought me back there. I was like, I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't move. It happened Thursday, so I got through the morning at the office, and we took off the next day to Tampa. We drove. That didn't help. But I sucked it up, and I was with my daughter, parents' weekend, made it through. She had a whole itinerary, so there was no resting. We were at frat parties and this and that, and just events at the school, and I was having a really hard time. But it's one of those things that I was like, this is slipping and checking. Have I've been taking care of myself. I've been working out, eating right, doing all that good stuff. Have I been getting checked enough? My spine, subluxation. And I, sometimes we let time go by, and it had been, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks since I had been checked. And so before I left, I went to see my chiropractor, Dr. Jenny Caceres. A lot of you know her. She's only about less than a mile away from my office. And I got checked before I left. I got through the weekend, came back, and what do you do? What do you do? We have these principles that we live by. We have these 33 principles, and I always have a sheet of them laying around. These 33 principles of Stevenson's, right? That we live by, that we profess, that we talk about, that we teach people. What do we tell our patients when they're going through something? They're going through a situation, right? And and I told myself, well, get checked more often, idiot. So I went. I got back Sunday night, Monday morning. Jenny, my DE sister, came to the office in the morning before she started at her office, and checked me, adjusted me. I went at lunchtime, got adjusted again. And I knew, I told myself, and I knew it. This tooth shall pass. This is a situation. And I always tell my patients, this is a situation. Everybody comes in with a condition, a named condition, and that's their crutch. And that's what they blame everything on. This is my condition. Well, I wasn't going to let this stop me. And I had a lot of people to adjust on Monday, a lot of people adjust today. And I'll be happy to tell you that I'm walking around right now. I got checked 3 times yesterday. I only got adjusted once. I got checked today and adjusted today before going into the office. And it's just one of those things that do you live by the principles? Do you live by the principles that we talk about every day, about the things that you tell your patients? And I got through it. And I got through it because I knew, and I'll say it up on stage. And when you're clear, you're connected. Everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. I was checked. I was clear. I knew with time. Principle number 6. Every process takes time. And that's the hardest one. That's right. That's the hardest one, and that's the hardest one for our patients to understand. We know it. Maybe God sent this to me to kind of humble me and be a little, compassionate about what people are going through in my office when they come in, or to test me. And I say, listen, I got through it. I've been through a lot. My body's been through a lot. So my head went through a windshield when I was 19 years old. I played football in high school, middle linebacker. I was getting my head hit every play. I was persistent because I was probably the kind of like Dr. Sid playing defensive end for Georgia Tech. I was weighing about 135 in high school, playing strong safety, and then moved in and then beefed up and moved to middle linebacker. But I've been through a lot of when I hit the windshield when I was 19 years old. I was in college and I had a chemistry exam on Monday, and that happened on Saturday. I had 7 staples in my head. I went to the test, all bandaged up, took the test. I didn't take any drugs, any pills. They gave me these big horse tranquilizers, I guess, for the pain. But even back then, before even knowing, I've been getting adjusted since I was 13 years old. But I really knowing the principle, I always knew it. I just didn't know it. I don't want to take any pain. I need any painkillers. I just knew I can get through it. It's funny, when I was 13, my one of my papers was I wanted to be a chiropractor. And even back then, look at the irony in this. Even back then, my teacher had she gave me a B+ because I had all these red marks on it, and she kept adding the word medicine to chiropractic. And at 13 years old, I was like, well, chiropractic is not medicine. And we were arguing about it back then. Fast forward, I'm arguing to the state board, trying to change our board's name from Board of Chiropractic Medicine back to Board of Chiropractic. So it's a never-ending battle. But the big thing is never give up. Always be persistent. So I got out of that. This weekend, it was big challenge. I was having a hard time, but I knew that if I got clear and I took care of myself, everything was going to be all right. And I got through it. And today, it's like I'm sitting here in front of you. It's like nothing happened. So like anything, I pray, get checked, get adjusted, and this too shall pass. So one of the things I want to share with you guys, and it's from Dr. Sid's Lasting Purpose. And one of the things that I think Dan too may have referred to it in his talk about persistence, which is what I've been talking about now. Dan's talk talked about urgency. Dan's talk talked about persistency. Dan's talk talked about not having enough time. At 51, I'm not going to have enough time to see the fruits of the labors that we're doing right now, whether it's in my office, in the organizations that we're involved in, the DE. If we start pushing the pedal to the metal and keep pushing forward, we might not see the fruits of our labor And I think that's what he was talking about. In our lifetime, we don't have enough time. But we don't. All we can do is do our best and make sure that the future of this profession is secure. So that way, our kids and their kids can find a chiropractor, a real chiropractor that checks and adjusts vertebral subluxation. Easily. I've been lucky that my kids, go to, they're starting to spread out. And I've been lucky enough to find a DE chiropractor for them to go to and get checked in Gainesville, in Tampa, in Nevada. When Alex moves to work for Tesla, he's going to live in Reno, Nevada. And I have, guys know Russ Hollinger opened up his office to him, and he's taking care of my son. Where the other ones go, hopefully we find one that will check and correct their subluxations, because that's what we do, right? So the thing about persistency, and I'm going to read it from Lasting Purpose. It's way in the back. This was Dr. said. It's in the appendix, page 163. A focused mindset encourages persistency. When you are persistent, you keep on going in spite of hardships and discouragements. And this helps you to become even more persistent. If you experience a temporary failure, you get up and try again. Now, before I move on, that resonated with me because, my wife and I, Araceli and I, we do exercise together. We take some time and we do a lot of things together, basically together 24/7. But this is something that we do together outside. We go to a group class. It's called Shake Backyard. It's on a trampoline, and one of the things that we enjoy doing together. And the guy who the trainer that facilitates the class or whatever, tells us what to do. He tries to makes us do new things or try different things, and it's all about vibration on the trampoline, and you're finding your balance, and it's a really awesome exercise that we do, and she loves it because she doesn't like to exercise, and it's something that she found that she enjoys to do, and when I joined with her, it makes it even better for both of us. But one of the things he said, when we're trying something new and we're trying to balance ourselves, he's trying to get over our fear of falling. So, one of the things he said, and it hit me, and it was like one of those moments, like, he's like, I know that, it's you're doing something. He goes, don't fear the fall. What's the worst thing that can happen? You fall and you bounce back up. We're on a friggin' trampoline. Come on. So that will get us over our fear or our obstacles. And just like in practice and in life, we're gonna try new things in practice. You're always trying new things to bring the message out to more people. And if one thing doesn't work, then you try something else. Sometimes the easiest thing is to do something that worked for somebody else. Usually it'll work for you, but not everybody's the same. But fear holds a lot of people back. A lot of times it won't help you or won't allow you to try things. Obstacles are there not to stop you, but for you to step on and step over or climb, right? So don't fear the fall, whatever it is, whatever struggle you're going through, whatever thing you're afraid of doing because of what people might think, or just fear of failure, period. Don't fear the fall, because you're going to get back up. Life will knock you down, and you got to get back up. Okay? Because you know what? A lot of people are counting on you, whether it's your family, your community, other chiropractors. Our mission is to perpetuate this principle, this thing called chiropractic, in the most purest form, so it lasts for generations to generations. And there's a lot of work to do. Let me keep going here. Lost my thing. Okay. Persistency keeps you trying until you finally succeed, especially if you persist just for the sake of persisting. You would do well to practice persistency in all endeavors in order to fully develop this valuable natural resource. When you are persistent just for the sake of being persistent, this trait becomes a habit, which when coupled with habits of loving just for the sake of loving and doing just for the sake of doing ensures consistent success. Persistency often enables the less talented person to win against potentially more competitive individuals who have failed to develop this valuable skill, give up before they reach their goal. You know, this is coming from Dr. Sid. So if you heard Thursday night, Dr. Umber, he was talking about Dr. Sid and the stories and how he was at Tech High and Georgia Tech. And, and he was, a small defensive end. And he was persistent. And he probably beat a lot of people that probably were a lot more talented than him to get that starting job on the football field, and he carried it over to what he did with chiropractic and DE and life. And he didn't do it, for, personal gain. He did it to perpetuate this principle and chiropractic and spread chiropractic. He did everything. I remember going to school from 1993 97. Everything he did was to promote chiropractic. Whether he was on, I worked in the athletic department, so he had the basketball team. He was always at the Braves games. You could always see him there. I have a scout for the NBA who comes into the office, and he's actually from Iowa, from Davenport, Iowa. But we would always talk, and he'd always see Dr. Sid sitting in the stands in the front row, and he knew Dr. Sid actually. It's cool to have those conversations with people. They're just random. And then he goes, I know Dr. Sid. He was always sitting in the sidelines at the Hawks games. So persistency, whether it's in your personal life or your office, it's key. It's one of the keys to success. Another one is being prepared. If you're not prepared, you're not going to be successful. So, I know Dr. Said O'Halloran. O'Halloran always talks about that. I always remember him talking about being prepared. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I think I got it right. But those are the keys to success. One other thing I wanted to share with you guys, and this being the weekend after DE, and is and some of us were there at Dr. Sid's luncheon. I think it was the last luncheon that he gave a speech at, and I remember standing there and just getting goosebumps at the words that he was saying and at the things that he was giving us, and the action steps or the call to action that he was giving us, and the transfer or the passing of the torch, you could say, and it was an amazing speech, and I have the transcript of it, and it still gives me goosebumps hearing it. But it's a speech that he was basically handing over the torch to us, to that room at DE, and one of the things is and I was listening to Matt McCoy's talk at DE. And I know at the luncheon, he was giving a call to action, and, he must get tired of saying the same thing over and over and again for years. And he's one of these days going to stop and he's going to say, I told you so. But, I would love for Dr. McCoy to go up there and not be the bearer of bad news, and let us know how, how the faction of our profession is dwindling and stuff like that. And he's right. He's right. And we just have to step it up and get more people behind us, and get more people, even if it's only 300, right? But be a little louder, be a little more obsessed with the principle, a little more fanatical about this principle that we live by. And we have 33 of them, but that first one is pretty solid. So I'm going to read to you guys Dr. Sid's luncheon speech at DE, and just listen to the words and let them penetrate. These seminars were designed to teach people to become more attuned with the great innate potential within themselves and to reach out and join with others who share this potential. And those of you that are here now are my hope for the future. You and the thousands of others who have attended these seminars over the years and have then gone out and practiced with toughness and with persistency and with learning approaches. These old knees of mine are testifying that the older man pays for the younger man's foolishness, although I wouldn't change a thing in my life. If I could, I would continue to pay the price for this ring, this big ring I wear on my finger. I am no longer able to travel to faraway places to campaign for this profession that I so dearly and truly love and for which I have given the greater part of my and Dr. Nell's life for these many decades. Dr. Nell and I both, along with our precious children, have given our first priority to the science of chiropractic, and second priority to the science of chiropractic, and third priority to the science of chiropractic. Chiropractic has been and still is our life, and it will stand as our memorial. Now you are the righteous warriors who must take up the flag and charge the hill of greed and prejudice that continue to be defended by the selfish enemies of the love and truth of chiropractic. I pray that you will not go to waste the good work and sacrifice of those of us who have gone before you and blazed trails that you now follow and take for granted. Stand up and be counted. Do the right thing at all times. Make loving, serving, and giving out of your own abundance through your skillful hands as a chiropractor your first priority, your second priority, and your third priority. May the good Lord bless each and every one of us and guide your precious hands, your restless feet, and your loving hearts as you carry this torch that I now pass on to you. It is my prayer that as you reach the twilight of your years, you also echo these words, which I borrowed from the Apostle Paul of many, many centuries ago, in which I stress you agree with Dr. Nell and I, and what Dr. Nell and I and others have earned the right to say for over half a century now. We have fought the good fight. We have finished the race. We have kept the faith. God bless you all. Whew, that always gives me goosebumps. And he's passing the torch. There he is. And we've got a long way to go. And like I said, there's not a lot of time. There is not a lot of time. And there's probably not enough of us. But we have to keep standing up, keep growing, keep serving in your community, build your army of patients, because you know what? Those people that came before us, a lot of them went to jail, and a lot of their patients rallied outside the jailhouse, free our doctor, free our chiropractor. If something happens to you, will your patients be the ones out there calling for you, calling for your freedom, so you can do what you do? Like I said before, we got to work, and I want McCoy to go up there and say, you guys are doing great things. We're making something happen. There's a shift going on, and I hope he does say that. It probably won't. He probably won't, because it probably won't happen in his lifetime or our lifetime. But if we keep doing what we're doing, keep pushing forward, keep moving, keep professing this profession, it'll happen one day. There's always going to be a split in the profession. It's been there since day one. So let's focus on what we got to do, and don't worry about the other side and what they're doing. We have 4 different associations, probably 5 here in Florida. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we can't be looking around what everybody else is doing. We got to focus on what we do. We got to ensure the future of this profession by protecting and promoting its principles, and get more people involved. Work with other groups. The Florida FCS and GCC have been working great together. We learn from each other. We help each other out. I'm a member of GCC. I'm a member of the Palmetto State. I'm a member of the New Mexico organization out there. Whoever has the same mission, that we do, we all get together, we'll make some changes, and then we can, go to the state boards and if one of us is successful, all we got to do is follow the lead. So if we do that, then our faction of the profession will prevail, and our faction of the profession must prevail. For just for chiropractic to be available to every man, woman, and child. And my mind just went blank, so I'm done. I love and appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys in January. I might be at the GCC Casino night. We'll see. Thank you.
El Guapo.
Hey, man.
Great job, my man. That was awesome.
Thank you.
I think El Guapo translates to smooth DE Tuesday night principal Chiro broadcast speaker. That's the translation there. You did a great job, man. Really inspired me. What a great talk right out of DE. I thought it was awesome, man. Thank you so much for sharing tonight, for your message. And, man, it's an honor to serve with you on this Florida Chiropractic Society board and talk to you nearly every day about how we can save chiropractic in the state of Florida.
That's right. Pretty much every day. It's good, man. We're doing good.
Yep. So get listening to the rest of those talks from DE. The great thing about being a member like me and Eddie are is that you can go back and listen to all the talks again and again and again, or if you missed one, you can hear it for the first time. They're available in the DE member Facebook group. So it's always great to be a member of DE. Plus you save money on the conferences, so it's like a win-win.
There you go.
But great message tonight. I'm seeing a lot of great stuff coming across the bottom. People loved it tonight, Eddie. Thank you so much for being here. And that'll wrap it up, guys, for tonight's Tuesday night Principled Chiro broadcast. Have a great week, everybody.
Good night, guys.